It's 3 a.m. in the morning, so a lot of people are gonna be asleep. So what are we going to talk about today? Addiction. We have to speak. Some. We have to speak quietly because people are asleep. We have neighbors. Okay. Usually when I make videos, I try to make it very interesting and engaging, so people don't get bored. But if you're somebody that can't sit to watch something, this is going to bore you out. Just stay with me, right? So we're going to have a discussion, right, about addiction, and we'll look at it from a different point of view. So, have you ever asked yourself the word addiction? Where did it come from? So, there was a time in Latin, the word addiction came from the word adicere. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. So, ad and dicere. Ad means towards, like to, like to do something, and not like towards. Then dicere means to pronounce, to say. So during the time when adicere occurs, it's like you are owing someone, so you can't pay what you owe. You are being pronounced towards someone as a slave. Big explanation to what addiction is. Mind slavery. Okay, now, so why is it addictions are not the same? The different addictions for drugs and gambling, gaming, pornography, they're different. They're different. And how to, like, social media also, how to leave, how to stop is different. Now, there's no specific order to how I'm going to arrange this video. I don't know if I've said that before. So you have to bear with me while we take time to think and sort this out. So first of all, for you to get addicted to something, it means it solves something for you. It is all a cycle. It means it solves something for you. You cannot just get addicted to something. I had to tap my camera, sorry. The light was going dim. So you don't just get addicted to one random thing. You get addicted to stuff that do something for you. So when you get addicted to something, it's not like your body or your brain hates you. It is trying to do the best it could do for you. It is not a good bad thing. It is just how it works. It's just how it happens. So how do we sort this out then? So I don't know why is my camera going dim? I don't think I'm going to edit this video. I'll just post it the way it is. Moreover, I don't have subscribers. Okay, before we go on, remember my first video, I spoke about the Mindful Youth Hub. The Mindful Youth Hub, we're going to make great upgrades, and even some of the features are going to be free. So you need to check it out. The upgrade is going to be available in less than a month. So we're going to have our own help and your personal AI. What do you use that for? If you're in Nigeria and you struggle while studying, you can just take a photo of your handout or the page, then you bring it, you upload it to the AI, it summarizes it for you. And other things, you try to, like stuff concerning addiction, you put tabs on yourself, you create a to-do list, and you create a do not do list. Yeah, there's something called a do not do list to remind yourself of cues. Now, cues are stuff that when you see, they activate a specific behavior you do not want to do. So now, why am I dropping the marker? So before we go on, I think we should try to just bring a ground on addiction. Now, I'm not going to train you on anything, and I don't have the certificate to do so. I studied chemistry, not psychology or neuroplasticity. I didn't study the brain. I studied the brain on my own, but what I studied in school was chemistry. But I know something. Stories. Now, I'll try to use a story to explain to you how addiction looks like. So this is how addiction looks like. Let's say I'm working for a man and my salary is 5,000 naira a month. Now, 5,000 naira a month look like nothing. But there's a lot of people that actually do not have a legit source of 5,000 naira. But let's keep that aside. Okay. So let's say I work for someone and my salary a month is 5,000 naira. Right, so usually just come to work, it's all simple and stuff, and the 5,000 naira is not exciting, but at least I'm not dead, right? So I just came up one morning and I said, okay, now this place looks dirty, let me sweep. I swept. My boss came, greeted, everything was just normal. Then by the end of the month, the salary moved to 10,000 naira. So I was excited. I was like, what just happened? So it moved from 5,000 to 10,000 naira, and all of a sudden I could buy more things. It didn't make like much of a difference, but I could buy more things. And 5,000 to 10,000 is actually a 100% increase. Yeah, it's actually a 100% increase. So I asked myself, what change? What difference? As in, why am I getting paid more than last month? And I say, it's probably the sweeping, and I'll sweep again. As I swept again, I got another 10,000 naira the next month. Now it occurred to me that it is the sweeping. So I came to work. Now I would sweep. My battery is getting low. I hope it would stay for me to finish this video. Right, so I would sweep and I would know that something is going to actually be there for me. Right, moving further, few months later, the 10,000 naira becomes the new baseline, and now all my expenses have moved from 5,000 naira to 10,000 naira. So now I start noticing something. There's kind of cobwebs all over the place and the ground. Even when I sweep, the tile still look somehow. So what do? I remove the cobwebs and I mop. Right. So now, something in my head said there's a tendency that I might be praised for this. I don't know. I'm just trying. I might be paid for this. I'm just trying. So at the end of the month, it moved from 10,000 to 30,000 naira. So what now came to me? If I do more, I get more. So I continue with 30,000 naira, and because I've moved from 5,000 naira to 30,000 naira, I probably now am accumulating money to pay for rent. Because probably for the 5,000 naira, there's no how you want to combine money for rent with 5,000 naira, because in one full year you can't afford it. You can't afford rent. Where are you going to stay? Are you going to stay with pigs? Just give an example. So now at 30,000 naira, you still not have a good place that you are going to stay, but at least now you can contribute and you start behaving like, feeling like an adult, feeling like a man, right? So it continues that way. You keep doing one or two things, and maybe you end up packing out of the place you are staying, probably with your aunt, your uncle, your parent. Now you are staying on your own, probably in just a single room, sharing toilets with your 30,000 there. You now discovered one more thing again, and your salary moved from 30,000 to 70,000. So you move to a different place, now probably self-contained, but you don't have fan. You probably lying on the bed they call sleep and die, that flat one that I used that when I was in 100 level, right? So it continues like that, and you move from 70,000 to like 200,000, and now you have proper bed, but you're still sweaty. You're just using normal fan, no AC or whatever. You change the way you are eating, you change your cream, you change your phone. You moved from 200,000 to 800,000. You're from 812 to 800,000. Now you change your location. Now you are staying in a place that is more secure, and you are surrounded by people that have money, and you're buying stuff. Now you move from 800,000 to 4 million naira. Now at 4 million naira, you have a car, and your monthly expenditure is up to 1 million naira. Since you make 4 million naira, you're actually spending lesser than you make by spending 1 million naira. So what then happens? My boss was transferred. Let's say your boss gets transferred. You are making 4 million naira. Now your new boss comes to play and checks, and you actually, your payment is not supposed to be 4 million naira. Remember, 5,000 naira. So your next salary comes 5,000 naira, and you are doing everything that you do or whatever. Problem, panic. Now, how does this relate to addiction? You started with a baseline, 5,000 naira. And you started stretching. And there's something about how all this happened. Every new level is only nice at the beginning. It actually becomes a new baseline. It's only nice at the beginning before it becomes a new baseline. Should I write it down? You should write it down. It is nice at the beginning before it becomes a new baseline. So trying to just stop addiction is like trying to move from 4 million to 5,000 naira. That is one of the reasons why you always fall. You always fail when you try to stop it. Now, there are ways. I don't want to complicate anything, so I try to make the video just calm. There's no script to this, and probably make better videos in the future. So now let's go. Let us sort this out. Let us sort this out. From the beginning of the video, I said something like you can't get addicted to something if it doesn't solve a problem for you. Now, different type of addictions can start being caused by different things. It can be peer pressure. It can be, I just want to check things out, right? It can be your location, where you are, you see people doing it, then you try it. Probably movies, music videos. That probably can be the way you start. It might not be solving a problem till when an actual problem starts, then your brain looks for something, because this is what your brain likes to solve problems. There's a lot of problems, there's a lot of data your brain is analyzing every single day. So when something happens, it tries to pick as much information it could see from your reservoir of thoughts. So when you have a problem, right, that you are probably supposed to take time to solve, but you have exposed yourself to one of those things, your brain picks that thing. It picks it. So, and like I said before, addiction, yes, addiction, but there are some that are worst. Now, why am I saying they are worst? Is because when you get addicted to something that is attached to your nature, which means that it would always showcase itself when you be yourself. So someone will say, okay, I try to say that before I stop it, I would have to stop being myself. No. The whole point I'm trying to say is that it is so difficult because you keep getting reminded. If you want to weaken the connections concerning an addiction in your brain, you have to try to make it not occur as much. But if that thought occurs as much, it makes it remain in the back of your head. An example of that is porn. Now, for you to stop smoking, for you to stop drinking, compared to you stopping porn, which one do you think is harder? Porn is a lot harder. Now, because you can decide, even video games and all this in social media, you can decide to delete everything. You cannot decide to delete everything, and would you have withdrawal? You actually feel bored, but can you survive? Very, very well. And it's going to be very easy to just move to something else. Like probably just start playing football or start exercising, just move around, and It won't take you up to a month to adjust. It won't take you up to a month. But what's off porn precisely? It is different. Why? Because of an active imagination. Because of an active imagination. You think it. Like you have it in your head. You don't think taste. As how do you how do I explain this? You don't think feeling. Like, okay, you don't think if I say feeling, I'm not talking of feelings, I'm talking of actual touch, right? I'm thinking of actual touch. You don't I'm trying to look for the best examples because we work this stuff in stories. Now look at how the porn is. The porn is now attached to your access to it. It's basically something you use every single day. Your imagination, your phone, and you go on ads. You anywhere you go, magazines. Why in God's name will a naked lady be on the packet of toothpaste? How are you using nudity to advertise toothpaste? How are they connected? So it is everywhere. Even when you try to dodge it, you try to I remember one time I was trying to download the Flash. I think it was in SS3, maybe SS2. And a website that is which other website I was trying to download Avatar Last Airbender cartoon, a website for cartoon, and on the download page, you see what I saw? I said, let's assume that it was a child. Like, this is what you show. Imagine somebody that is trying to like stay away from it. And there's something about the brain. It picks information very, very fast. It picks data very, very fast. So imagine someone that is trying to stay away from it and boom, you give him the cue. And it remains in the head. It remains in the brain. It's trying to solve a problem. Now, one other thing about addiction is how it creates a loop. Now, let me give an example of what I'm trying to say. Look at this. I hope this shows. Sorry. Give me a second. I have a cycle. Now, there's something about a cycle. The only person that knows where a cycle starts is the person that draws it. Now, we said something about how their addiction must have started probably through a friend group, or the thing that your addiction will end up solving is not the thing it came to solve in the beginning, most times. Unless for probably, even for people, like, okay, you lost a loved one and that's when you generated addiction for alcohol and stuff. You start overtaking alcohol, not because you keep losing people every single day. It is now solving something different. And why can't you stop? It is because the addiction is generating a problem that you are trying to use the same addiction to solve. The addiction is generating a problem that you are using the same addiction to solve, making the cycle to continue and get worse. Let me try to explain what I'm trying to say. Depression. That addiction might start a depression for you. Now you are depressed and you need some sort of relief. And what do? You used the same, you end up using the same thing that causes the addiction. The same thing, you end up using the same thing that caused the depression to try to solve depression, increasing the intensity, now there is something about our brain. The longer you stay with something, the more it keeps getting attached to other things to create more meaning. And this is exactly the same way machine learning works. Data. So look at it. Let me say, the older you get in something, like you can't compare someone that's been doing something for 1 year and someone that's been doing it for 10 years. Aside that, how active, you might know something for 10 years but you're not active there. There's someone that knows it for 1 year, is very, very active. Then the person will go a lot further than you because of increased experience, because of heightened experience. So let us get something. how do this connection work? So I have a behavior. I don't want to block anything. So I have a behavior here, and it's moving this way. We're moving this way on the line, and we have other things, picking other things. Now, the longer you move, and if these other smaller balls, right, are all scattered all over the place, the more you move, you keep making connections. Keep making connections. You basically learn how to undo every correction you are going to make. Let me repeat what I'm saying. You learn to undo all the corrections that is supposed to work because you have infinite ideas on how to relapse, go back. You have infinite ideas on how to go back on the stuff. Am I saying this to scare you? No, I'm not saying this to scare you. I just want you to realize. Now, the whole journey, most times it will look as if, no, I don't have a problem now. Nothing is, everything's okay. I'm working hard and I don't have any issue with this addiction and stuff. Try to stop. I dare you. I stayed for 10 seconds intentionally to make the place uncomfortable. Okay. When you try to stop, then you realize, oh my God, I can't stop. Then probably you now accept, I'm just that person. No, your decision making is going to be impaired. Your decision making is going to be impaired because of it. Now, there's one thing I want you to do, right? Then I'll bring my opinion on how to actually curb the addiction on them. And it works for every single form of addiction. It does. It works for every single form of addiction. But before we go there, I want you to join me and do decade thinking. Decade thinking is when you think 10 years in the future. And if you have an issue now that you're struggling with, I want you to imagine 10 years without it. Imagine that, okay, how much can I achieve if I'm not hindered by this thing that is hindering me at the moment? How far can I go if I'm not held back by what is disturbing me now? And also think about you not sorting it out and it gets worse. How does it get worse? You might not be able to think about it, but how does it get worse? Remember the story I told you about, say you move from 5,000 naira to 4 million and now you can't go back? You actually can. The story is incomplete. But I'll give you an example. Nobody wakes up a pedophile. I don't know if YouTube will bring this video down because of how I just say. Nobody wakes up becoming a PDF file. Yeah, nobody wakes up becoming a PDF file. It starts somewhere, and it starts small. If you oversaturate yourself with information, you don't learn anything day one. You have to start from little steps. What am I talking about? It is if you try to learn everything chemistry day one, you would crash. But if you start with, okay, what is an atom, and you just stay at what is an atom, then little you improve. Then now you can take every information as time goes on. The same way you can't take 10 packets of cigarettes day one, but you can take half stick, or not. You don't even need a stick. You just need puff, and pass. Right? So it starts small. Right? It gets big. I can't believe I just forgot what I wanted to say. What did I say last? Okay. Well, I didn't write a script for this, so it passed. It has passed. Sorry. It has passed. Sorry. So let's get back to business. Now, what are the? I said we could sort it out. So first of all, we think of cues. What do I see? What do I see that makes me return? Now, if you want to stop something, you can start adjusting things that make that happen. Most some psychologists don't even believe that addiction exists. They just believe that condition, most of your behaviors are environment induced, based on the place you are, the place you envelop yourself. Like, okay, water would be hot if you drop it over a hot surface, right? So the behavior of water is not inert, it's actually its nature to behave the way it is behaving when the environment change. So if the environment change from cold to hot, water has no choice but to follow suit and become hot as well, same as you. So if you continue behaving as someone that stays indoor, and your brain has attached stay indoor with do this, you will do this if you stay indoor. Simple, right? So what if I do not stay indoor? I go here. The first few days, what will happen is the brain will start taking information, and you want to do that thing you are addicted to during that period of time. You won't. Now, this is a crucial part. Do not train your brain by doing it, by forcing yourself to do it. There's this kind of, you don't need to do it. You don't feel a true, real urge to do it, but you do it. You now ask yourself, then why am I doing it? It's nothing concerning willpower. It's just stop being in a condition where you have to make decisions. Because if that don't exist as an option, you can't take that option. You can't have A, B, C, D and choose F, because F is not in the option. You can't eat a Ghanaian food in a Chinese restaurant unless the Chinese people bring Ghanaian food. Right? You're in a Chinese restaurant, so I can't be asking for a Nigerian meal in a Chinese restaurant because it is not there, it's not in an option unless you bring it in yourself. So what am I saying? One of the ways you could change your behavior is by changing your environment. Change your environment. Change what you do. You might try to replace things. This journey you're about to embark on, right? I said you should think about future you and how pleased they will be if you sort out this problem now, and give yourself a room to breathe and have free and clear thoughts, free and clear imagination, and not having to go through that problems. So I was saying, I think we should write some of them down. And I will try to not give as much, because if I bombard you with information, you won't use it and do anything. That's a very funny part. If let me say I sat down and I did all the research that I could do, you won't use it and do anything. So first of all, I spoke about what if we change your environment. Change your environment. Said you should change. What should we change again? People you are around. It's actually same with your environment. The people you are around, change your environment. I think you should find a passion project. Work. Bro. Work. You need to work. Say work, exercise. You need to work out, get stuff done. You need to drop the baseline. You need to let your brain heal. It takes a lot of time and it gets confusing. You get the highest push, the urge increases. But you just have to go through. You just have to go through. Like, it has already happened that you are this addicted to something, And I want you to think it this way. Imagine you did this, like you actually succeeded in this last year. You won't feel anything now. You won't feel the pain of beating it now. We usually forget the intensity of stuff that happen. We usually forget the intensity of stuff that happen. So why don't you just do it and let it go? I repeat, stuff looks difficult till it turns to hindsight. There was a period of time I was in 200 level and I had no idea how a project is done. And now I finished my project almost 3 years ago. That's passed and even added several years. Just so you stop thinking about now too much. Don't think about the pain now too much because it would pass. So why don't you just try to do it? You actually also need a community. So I talk about people. So I can call it an accountability partner. Now, this works if you want to even learn skills, right? You have someone that is going through similar stuff, right? Someone that is going through similar stuff. You guys could speak. And you would watch yourself put on tab. So for instance, people that are suffering from severe pornography and they can't stop themselves from using it. There is, I've forgotten the name, I think dns.next.io or ZOI, I've forgotten the name. So what you could do with that is to block sites. You could put real parental control. There will be no access. You can't access anything. For instance, one of the worst kind of pornography is not from the site, but based on places you don't expect, because the brain likes things it doesn't expect. It likes it. It wants to just get joy. It's one of the reasons why married men still chase people outside, even if the wife is 1,000 times more pretty. It's because of that unexpected feeling. The brain likes that thing unexpected. So imagine that you appeared in a party and they recognize you, call you by name and whatever. It is more exciting than you giving your name out to them for them to invite you, right? But it is still the same invitation, but because it is unexpected. So those sites that are not actually the porn sites are worse than the porn sites, right? So you know all those sites, you could actually block every single one of them. You copy the DNS code and you send it to your phone. Now that can be reset. It can only be reset. It can be reset when you just decide to go and change the DNS code, turn it off or turn it to automatic. Then you have access to the site again. But if you actually block those things and you put a code to it, if you're the one that put a code yourself, when you get the urge, I promise you would go and remove the code, right? So, but if you have an accountability partner and he is the one that has the code, he will never give you the code. So it's going to be the only way you can get access to those things is to take the phone to factory settings. So now the thing is, are people going to do that? Like, because I want this, then I just flash the phone, I just delete everything, format everything. I don't know. I don't know how, if that is going to happen. But it's one thing that you have successfully done. You have added good amount of friction. You have added good amount of friction. With everything we are doing, we are just increasing friction. And there's something about nature. Nature likes spontaneity. How easy can I move from point A to B? Explains spontaneity. How natural would it occur? It is easy to do something if spontaneity is helping you. So if my aim is to drop a box from a high cliff, right, spontaneity would help me, and this will drop with a reduction in gives free energy. I don't do that for doing sake. I don't want to go into chemistry. What am I trying to say? Nature would help you if whatever you are doing is easy to be done. So if you are doing something and the next thing that should follow is hard to occur, it will take more effort to break it. Now there's two things involved. If you keep breaking that thing, you keep getting better. It's like I'm increasing weight to scare people off the gym, but they keep lifting it, meaning that each weight I add ends up becoming easy. Because it's making them stronger. So we put a friction so large, right, that you probably might just cancel phone as a source. Yep. Yes. Something can be so hard, so difficult that you just don't, you want it to, but this is not a source, right? Your brain begins to learn that is not a source, and you begin to adjust through that. You begin to adjust through that. Now, there's a lot of information I have, and had it been this is form of an interview where precise questions are asked, so that I could pick the answers and try to help as much as I can help. Now, like I said, your environment, your work, and your accountability partner. All these things boils into friction, right? Boils into friction. Why did I clean the point A and point B when that's what I want to do again? Now, wow. Friction. Yep. So you just block it. Now this is exactly what you do when you try to you start finding ways to how to cross, finding way how to cross. Now an example about this kind of friction is, how do we put friction? For instance, if you're a gamer and or you stay long awake watching movies and you want to stop that, what if you carried a TV and give it to one of your friend, the next local government? If you think you are very, very addicted and you keep watching movies on your TV in the night, and you carry that TV and give a friend in a different local government, that behavior dies that day. Does it actually die that day? Because of something. Remember these dots. You might stop using the TV and start using your phone. A new behavior, because now there is a hole in your brain and you need to fill that hole, and the brain will be like, okay, we realize that this shit is too hard, the friction is too much, so we would look for an equivalent stuff that can solve the problem. So you begin to use your phone to watch the movie. But so when I say, okay, we are trying to stop this, you can decide to not give yourself the chance. There was a period in time where I realized that I have to train myself like a dad would train a child, right? So you have an urge to eat around 12, and you would ask yourself, what will my dad say? It's 12 midnight. It is not about pot belly and whatever. No, it's about how your body would be would be in nothing related to balance, eating a chop eba around 12 a.m. Consuming excess sugar. If you have a child, would you give that child excess sugar? You shouldn't be consuming excess sugar, right? So you are your own parent, especially when you are over 20. So anything you see and you want to blame poor parenthood, apart from your parents, you are your parent as well. So things you allow and things you stop, you are responsible for that. You are very, very responsible for that. Right? So since we have removed the TV, we have given it to a friend in a different local government, we need to understand that there's a space in our head and we can actually feel it. But the issue about feeling that stuff is the kind of satisfaction that you gain from watching TV. What can we use to fill up that space? Now, watching TV is not a strong addiction. It's a very weak one. It's a very, very weak one. You think watching TV is a strong addiction till you get on TikTok and realize that watching TV is a joke. There are some houses that someone can even go pick their TV and disappear with the TV, and the person that owns the TV won't notice because the guy is sleeping on TikTok. Right? So now this video is very long, and I doubt if anybody is watching till this point. But maybe I'll make another part. I believe that there's a lot I've not said, and I'll just come to discuss about several things. I'll just keep things natural so that I can make more videos and to edit videos. I have other things that I do, so editing videos take a lot of time. The last video I uploaded, it took hours to edit, and it's not looking like one amazing edit and stuff. But this, I don't think I'll make any edits. I don't even know if I'm going to go back to and check the video. I'll just upload it. I'm very sure that this is going to help someone. So before I leave, remember the Mindful Youth Hub, right? It will help you. And also in the upgrade, there'll be an alarm, in the form of an alarm. There will be like a reminder, like you can have an accountability partner, an artificial intelligence doing that for you, right? I think one of these days we are going to speak on how artificial intelligence is going to change everything, right? It's going to change everything, not just about money making, but about how you think, right? I think we'll end the video here. So it is lovely to spend this time with you. I think I might have to go back to bed, or I wasn't even sleeping before I was trying to work on stuff. This is very, very unhealthy. So make all these efforts count. Subscribe, comment, like, criticize me, give opinions, and there was something very important I had to say before I've forgotten it. So have a nice day.